Hello, I'm Mike in the Up Dice and Gnomoria. Things have moved on a little bit since we were last here, but I had a crash, which is very annoying. I had a crash when I was... Yeah, basically I swapped away from Gnomoria and then back in, and it wouldn't come back up again. Normally that works just fine, but it didn't this time, and thus I've lost a number of days, which is a bit irritating. What I'm currently doing is I am making pasture. I'm making pasture for alpacas. And they're going to have at most 1 male and 5 females. I happen to know, because I looked it up, that alpacas have a size of 8, which means they take up 8 squares. Now I'm going to put in a trough as well. So, the reason I'm doing this is that I plan to open up diplomatic relations as soon as I can. Oh, I have got an ambassador. There was some confusion, you see. Is this... Oh, okay. Like I said, I lost some time to a crash, so I'm a bit confused about what's happening. Like I've set up a dining hall, and I've which I think of, yes, which is the Great Hall. The two advantages to that are that it's a place for everyone to come and eat. I can do things like set alarms and everyone will run to the Great Hall. And also, people will, as I increase the value of that, it's going to increase the value of the whole, my little fortress, as far as attracting new migrants is concerned. But it doesn't. It counts double for counting for attracting migrants, but it doesn't. It only counts single for attracting bad guys. So that's a way of getting ahead, because up until you have a great hall, everything you add increases the chance of bad guys turning up, which is obviously a bit of a pain. I need to check a thing. So there's a few things that I have done that looks like they have been undone, which is a bit annoying because of that crash. That's okay. So I changed the priorities of my all-rounder because I had tinker above hauling, which is great for tinkering, but I meant lots of stuff wasn't getting moved like what it should do. So that's now that changed. I have to go back and see what changes have been made. One of the changes that I made is that I asked for once you get an ambassador, a merchant may show up, right? And when a merchant shows up, there are things you can do, like you can trade. And one of the things I want to trade for is alpacas, because alpacas make wool, which is slightly better than cotton. And that's a neat thing. So I want that, and also cotton doesn't grow during the winter, so it means that I can have a kind of cloth production going even when it's winter. I can also use that as a supplementary meat source. So at this moment I've got there'll be 1 male and 5 females in there, and any extras will just get butchered, and that's fine. Incidentally, Somewhat to my surprise. I was looking through my stocks not too long ago. Looking up hide, and I've got 10 bear hide in there somewhere. How? I don't know how that happened. That was a bit bizarre. Very surprised to discover that. Other things, what else has been happening? I've discovered, I was digging out an area here. The ambassadors need quarters. And there's a thing where they complain about how good their quarters are. So I decided to give them quite nice quarters. So this is decorative stone, basalt, and I used basalt because I thought that looked pretty. Oh, merchant, brilliant. And the honey badger. See, last time the merchant showed up, he got eaten by the honey badger, and I had to go rescue him. Or her. Don't know if it could be. Is this a gentleman or a lady? Not that it really. It's a lady. A lady merchant. So I can't remember if this, I can't remember if this is the exact same merchant who showed up last time. Looks similar, I think. Now, what happened before? So I go into the merchant store, right? And now that there's a merchant, I can now sell things. Let's increase that. Let's make that big. So I can pick things from here and sell them, and then try and match the stuff I want. Now down here, oh, I can get emus. The last merchant only. The last merchant only gave me. That's really weird. The last merchant only gave me alpacas and not emus. This one's only giving me emus. How interesting. Emus take up more size, the animal size 9. So, and you can't resize. Annoyingly, you can't resize a pasture. So I'll do it this way. They'll have slightly extra space. What the hell? That's fine. When is the next multiple of 9 from 48? 51. So they're going to have an extra 6 space, I think. Yeah, it would have been 40. No, they're only going to have an extra 3 space because they're 45. Yeah, 45. Which means the next one would be 54, in fact. So they're going to have an extra 3 space. Free range, you see, extra space, more space than they need. So I can only have 5 emus in there, 1 male and 4 females. So I'm changing that before I'm buying them, because last time I did this, I gave away, because I've got tons of is what I thought I had tons of. I've got lots of yak milk. I can give him 500 yak milk. I can quite happily give 500 yak milk. And because that's worth 1, that's going to be offer of 500. So from there, I can definitely get myself a gentleman emu. I'm looking for clippings. I thought, there we go, seeds. See, I've got a million of these. So I'm going to give, and that's all. They're also only worth 1. So I'm going to get myself that male emu. So I did this before with alpacas, right? Only the weird thing is I didn't actually get any alpacas. No alpacas turned up. Right, so that's the trade happened. Oh, there we go. See, that's not what happened last time. What happened last time is the alpacas didn't turn up. And I'm wondering whether or not, because when I did it before, I hadn't made the pasture already. I actually don't know if these guys eat straw, if they eat seeds. If they eat seeds, then they're alright. I think they're eating seeds. But the trough is having wheat. Oh no, seeds. They eat seeds. There you go. Sweet. So these guys are going to produce eggs, and eggs I will be able to use to make omelets, which means I'll be able to use the cheese that I'm making from the yak milk to make omelets, and I can make egg various sorts of omelets. Yes, I can make cheese omelets, which means that the cheese is going to be better food. Yes. Okay. I'm just quickly checking this again. Yeah, food, any seeds. So okay. Sweet. I have so many seeds. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to see. Now, I'm not selling my dirt clumps. I'm not selling my rocks because I keep using them. I do keep using blocks, so I'm okay with using those. What I was thinking is, what ores are available here? Oh, none. Clumps, granite, basalt, marble, sandstone, bauxite, serpentine, lapis lazuli, logs, clipping, copper ore. There is some copper ore. So now, I'm not sure how many seeds I can afford to give up now. I will be making many, many more seeds because that's the whole thing of my, I keep planting more and more and more. So if I give 200 of those and 200 of those, every copper ore is 20, so I should be able to get 20 copper ore. Yes, there we go. Let's do that. Now, I don't know where that copper ore shows up, and let's go to my stocks. Should have done this beforehand. Metal ore. And I have 21 copper ore. Sweet. I'm fairly sure I didn't have before. I did find some copper ore here. So I was actually all this is dug out as copper ore, but that's all been. I'm pretty sure that's all been made into bars. And then made into bits of armor. That's the tinker bench. That's not really helpful. Made into stuff from the weaponsmith. So that's cool. Another thing I need to put back in is I actually put crates in the weapons storage area. Tinkering is another thing that's been going on. Yeah, you can see, you may remember that I actually had quite a lot of tinkering done, and now I'm all the way back here. Well, I got the first level of tinkering. Woo. The only problem being, the first level of tinkering doesn't give you anything useful. It's wrenches, rods, gears, springs, right? That's from the machine shop. And in the engineer shop, I can make axles, and I can make mechanism bases, and I can make gearboxes. And you'll note that none of those things actually do anything on their own. Those are all things that will later go into being made to make other mechanisms, but they don't do anything on their own. So I'm going to learn the next. Obviously, this is the next level of tinkering is going to go on, and I'm going to learn the next level of things. But that is apparently just a hand crank for powering things, which means that it's actually not. Again, I can power all of my rods and gears and axles, but the rods and gears and axles don't actually do anything. So it's not until, not just this next level of tinkering, but the level of tinkering after that is when I finally get crossbows, which is what I want. Because if I get crossbows, then I'm not going to have to keep fighting. Oh, hopefully anyway, not going to have to keep fighting the goblins who turn up. I would quite like to be able to hold them outside a fortification and shoot them at a distance with crossbows. I think that would be an awesome thing to be able to do. But you know, I'll probably have to put the walls up another level. I think you want to be 2 levels higher than the things you're shooting at. I think they can still fight you if you're like 1 level above them, but I would have to check that. Oh yeah, one more thing before I go. One last thing. I've rearranged my my thing here. The tracked items. I worked out that because you can, each of these is a whole group. You can put anything you want in that group. And if you just put 4 spaces ahead of the name of the group, you get an indentation. So I can therefore say, I have 23 metal slivers, and then I can see what I've got: malachite, copper, tin, and silver. Right, so that's the stuff I'm getting from my prospecting, which is why I'm not selling my dirt clumps. And food, I'm keeping track of food and how much of that is fruit. That's to give an idea of when I want to unsuspend these fruit orchards, because I was getting so much fruit, it was ridiculous. And also, it was taking up so much time. They'll spend so much time gathering the fruit. By the time they were finished, then the wheat crop would be needing to be harvested, and then the fruit, and they would just not do anything. Winter was the only time I could get anything done because I just kept doing all the agriculture. So I'm looking at that, you know, how much of my food is fruit, which is actually gone down. It used to be I was well over half of my food was fruit, and as you can see, not the case anymore. It's quite cool. How much of my drink is yak's milk, because apparently they don't like to drink yak's milk. So that gives me a clearer idea of how much drink there actually is. I just didn't realize you could do that. You could. It's a very simple thing you can do, and gives me at least the appearance of nested lists of items, which is kind of neat. So that's actually a nice little thing that I worked out how to do, to give my tracked items just a bit more visual organization. So I now have emus. I've never had emus before. The last merchant only gave me alpacas, and for some strange reason that I don't understand, when I trade, there's more goblins. When I traded for alpacas, I didn't get any. Right, so lots of goblins. Hopefully, I have to say, there was one of those goblins was armored and had weapons and that, like that one. But they still just get mangled. They get mangled. I'm very, very pleased by that. That's more goblin meat to be made into sausages and then made into sandwiches. Oh, and I think by losing several days... No, I've got it! My favorite thing in the event menu. Got has created a legendary yak cheese. I have no idea if that's a good thing, but apparently there's such a thing. You can make legendary yak cheeses. So there you go. That's what I've been up to in Gnomoria, and that's a bit of an introduction to how the trading works. And that's me getting the new livestock, which I did not get last time. When I traded for them, the alpacas just did not appear, and I don't know why. I thought they may have been slaughtered because I didn't have a pasture for them, and so they immediately got taken to be slaughtered, but that didn't seem to happen. I didn't see them, they didn't show up in any of the things. But there you go. So thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed these videos. Come visit neopdice, neopdice.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter, which is in the description of the video. And until next time, take care of your gnomes.